Now, the financial crisis is tempting more and more Europeans to emigrate to Australia. The number of Italians and Greeks being granted working visas is increasing. But Ireland is seeing the biggest exodus. Between 2009 and 2010, more than 1,000 Irish people were granted long-term working visas down under. But 12 months later, as the Eurozone crisis took hold, that figure nearly doubled. The last 6 months alone, more than 3,000 visas have been issued. Well, Mege Dalton is an Australian registered migration agent. She joins us live from Dublin. Very good morning to you. Thanks very much for your time. So,
good morning.
Sun, sea, sand, can't really see the appeal.
I guess for Irish people emigrating to Australia, the main focus for a lot of people is jobs. At the moment in Ireland, as you know, the economy is not doing too well, and Australia's economy is going really, really well. The natural resources boom, the fact that the Australian government has done so well with the stimulus package to keep Australia from really getting into a recession. So here in Ireland, people know about this, and for them, a big concern is jobs, is employment. So I would say that in my work as a migration agent here in Dublin, that is the greatest motivation for a lot of people moving to.
How are so many people managing to swing these visas? We know they're notoriously hard to get. What do you have to do to prove that you can get a visa to go to Australia?
Well, the Australian government has set up an immigration system where there's a category for skilled migration, so that's based on someone's professional occupation, what their qualifications are, their work experience, also age, and now English language ability is a big issue as well, because although there are a lot of people emigrating from Ireland and the UK, and English is an Irish person's first language, some of the requirements now set by the Australian government makes it very, very difficult to even get past that requirement with a test called the IELTS test, actually. So skilled migration program is getting more and more difficult in the past years, and presently soon in July this year they will be making some more changes to this category. So I would say that more people are looking at employer-sponsored visas because of the difficulty with skilled visas, that they are looking for Australian employees to sponsor them to work in Australia, and thereby also sponsor them for a visa that will facilitate moving over there and working along with their families, taking their families with them.
Now, the traditional postcard picture of Australia with those beautiful beaches, clear blue waters, definitely appealing. But there was a report last year that found that of the Britons who emigrated to Australia in the past 5 years, and there was 107,000 of those, 60% of them came back to Britain. They found that it just wasn't a life that they wanted. Why do you think that might be?
I've also heard statistics like that. I've read recently that 30% of Irish migrants actually return as well once they've been over to Australia. And I think that sometimes there might be a case of the saying, greener pastures, that once people get over there, they may realise that it's not everything that they'd hoped it would be, and that's a reality of emigrating as well. You can't know until you've actually gone. Also it can be a case of just getting used to and settling into Australia. It's very, very far away. I know with my Irish clients, people find it very difficult to tell their families that they're leaving, and I think the pull of coming home as well is always there. Even though they're so motivated to go in the first place when they are over there, I think that thinking of their families over here and what they've left behind can also come back at a later stage and may actually motivate them to come back as well.
All right, Mege Dalton, thanks very much for joining us from Dublin this morning. Thank you.